One big fish, one big fish, one big fish. All I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a largemouth, smallmouth, maybe even a brown trout. If you ever catch one, you know what I'm talking about. All you wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a walleye, sawguy, maybe even a red eye. If you ever catch one, then you'll know why. All you wanna do is catch that one big fish. One big fish, one big fish, one big fish. All I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a catfish, fatfish, or any other kind of fish. If I only had one last wish, all I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Yes, all I wanna do is catch that one big fish. All I wanna do is catch that one big fish.
This time on One Big Fish, we're going to Florida, the Sunshine State, where I grew up, to go way down south to fish Lake Okeechobee. You know, Lake Okeechobee is the second largest freshwater lake in the United States that's totally within our boundaries. 730 square miles of freshwater bass habitat. 448,000 acres of fun for you and me to go out looking for trophy largemouth bass. We're going to be fishing with your friend and mine, one of the top guides on the entire Okeechobee system, Captain Art Hodges. He's got a couple decades experience fishing out here, and I tell you what, when you just imagine the scope of a water system like this, you want to be out with a pro, and that's why we've got you out here with Captain Art. So sit back, relax. You're going to get to see some big bucket mouth fish being caught. Captain Mark's going to tell you all about the techniques, the tactics, the gear and equipment that you'll need to be successful when you come down here to fish on Lake Okeechobee.
One big fish, one big fish, one big fish. All I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a largemouth, small.
There's one, Don. There's
You got one going? All right. Hold on. Oh man, look at that, look at that, look at that. Whoa, wow. Boy, that's a big one, man. Oh, beautiful. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Nice, wow. Look at the size of that thing. Woo!
About 4.
Now, is that the Florida strain?
That's the Florida strain largemouth.
Man,
Okeechobee
beautiful.
special.
Wow.
Look at the color. Look at the color on that fish.
The mouth on that fish. Anything it wants to eat, it's gonna eat, huh?
Ow, and me too.
Man, yeah, man, including fingers, right?
Right.
Beautiful fish.
Pretty fish.
Now, is this pre or post spawn, you think?
This one, she's got eggs in her. She's
Still got eggs.
so we're gonna release her pretty quickly
Yeah,
here and let
yeah.
her get back home.
Nice. Good job, Art. Good job, man. Wow.
Give her a little breath of fresh air to be sure she's gonna be all right. Kind of resuscitate her a little bit.
Yeah. There she goes. Good job, man. He's swimming with it,
There
right?
he is. There he is.
Just tighten up, just tighten up.
Yep. Hit him.
Got it, got it. Yes!
Make it in.
Oh, he feels good, man. He feels good. Oh, he's taking drag. Just let him take it, huh?
Yep.
Holy, I got some seaweed there. Hold on. He's close. Big old boil.
I'm ready when you are. Let me know. Right behind you with the net. Right here.
I got some weeds,
Take your
too.
time. Take your time.
Oh, he's
Oh,
digging,
yeah.
he's digging,
Oh,
he's digging,
yeah.
he's digging.
Oh yeah. Stay in the boat, Don.
Yeah.
Stay in the boat.
Yeah. Okay, it's close, but
All right.
I don't know if I should horse him or not. I'm just gonna
don't
no.
force it.
Oh,
Let him do what he wants to do.
let him do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
Woo! It feels like a good.
Lay him down.
It's just like hanging there, and every time I try to, there it goes again. Holy cow! Look at that drag! Look at that drag!
I see that.
Holy
Good
cow!
fish. That's a really good.
Come on this way. Yeah, yeah.
That's why we use that 20-pound test line.
Yeah.
All that grass.
Oh, look at him, look at him. Holy cow, look at the size of this fish. Unbelievable. Wow, look at this guy. The meat and the salad at the same time.
Okeechobee.
Woo! Wow, unbelievable. Corner of the mouth, and a big mouth it is. Wow. Look at the size of this fish. Wow. All right, I'm gonna hand this.
All right, I've got her.
Unbelievable. Wow. Look at the gut on this thing. This has not been on that fat-free diet. Woo! Look at that boy. Now another one of these pre-spawn fish, I guess. Art had me throwing over here at the edge of this, kind of a lighter weed bed, and a lot less weeds on this side where you had me casting. And he said that a lot of times these bigger fish will get over here in this lighter structure, and they'll be cruising around looking for these bluegills that are in here in these brim that are spawning right now. And this thing, it just took it, started taking off right back into the weeds. And beautiful fish. What do you think? It's 8, 9, 10 pounds? Lie to me. Come on, lie to me.
I'm going to say 6. Maybe 6.
Just a hog, man. Where do you fish on Lake Okeechobee?
Okeechobee is a huge lake. The wind can be a huge factor. And I pick places to fish where I know that I'm going to be safe, whether I'm with a customer or I'm fishing a tournament. As far as really locating fish, you have to pay particular attention to bait activity and where the wind's blowing through the grass and the little slots and the breaks of islands made of grass. Look for bait in that area, make several casts, and move on to the next spot. You'll eventually come across the right place and the right time. If you want to really catch fish, you have to work at it. It's not something you do on a deck on 5-minute basis. You have to work at it for days and days to stay on top of what's happening on Lake Okeechobee because it changes overnight.
Now, Art, you got some nice looking rods and reels over there. Why don't you tell us about the equipment we're going to be using going after these big largemouth bass?
When it comes to equipment, I'm using a 7-foot fast tapered Denali. Strong, very strong. Worm and jig rod, very flexible, but strong. Sensitive, so sensitive that I can feel the lightest tap of a fish. The rod is loaded with a standard bait casting reel, which is spooled with 17-pound test line. I use a 4/0 X-point hook, which is extremely sharp and will definitely penetrate the toughest mouth of any fish in this lake. The line allows me to retrieve a fish and the mass of hydrilla and the other submerged vegetation within the lake. This is the equipment that I depend on for my customers to land fish and myself in tournaments.
Can't see anything, Art. I'm going to put on these fish gills and see if I can see some of these beds you're talking about. Oh, night and day. And a great thing about these fish gills, you drop them in the water. You lean over, you're sitting there trying to pull in a fish, and off they go. And I know it's happened to all of you. Down at the bottom, you're not going to go get them. Just out another pair of sunglasses. These float. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Sure they do. I set them out here in the lake just to test them. They definitely float. Great thing, polarized, excellent vision. Able to get out here and do some sight fishes, see some, all the bass beds that you see here and there. So a lot of advantage to the fish gills, reasonably priced. You need to check them out on the internet. Plus, check them out at the toll-free number at the bottom of the screen. You're going to like these fish gills. Oh yeah, nice. Man, look at that pole. Holy cow, is that a snag or a fish?
That's a fish, but it feels like she's hung.
Swim around something, huh?
Damn sure did. I believe she did, I didn't say that.
Man, that's a hog there, buddy.
That's a good one.
Woo!
That's
Man, look at us, man, look at the head on that thing. Wow. That is a bucket. Now that's one big fish there, buddy. Wow. Unbelievable. Definitely one big bass there, man.
We just came in from a break for a break on the lake and ran into my buddy Dave Sheffield here. He's got a real nice fish. And Dave, tell us a little bit how you caught that fish and show it to us.
I was fishing a little bit deeper water today, using a Ardent XS 1000, Waterloo Mag 3, Yamamoto Senko. She goes about 7.5 pounds, I would imagine. Flipping a little bit deeper water seemed to be the key today.
That is a nice fish, Dave. She really looks good. Let's get her back in the water.
All right.
Skipper, why don't you tell us a little bit about the baits that we're going to be using here and then how we work them.
My baits of choice for Lake Okeechobee, first of all, is the fluke. I use the Zoom Super Fluke, red watermelon, watermelon red, and watermelon seed. I like to use the Super Fluke with guide trips. They always get customers a fish. They always provide some unexpected excitement. It's a very, very reliable bait, and it can be used as a top water bait to search for fish. You can use it as a twitch bait or jerk bait under the water. You can dead stick it, throw it out, and let her lay. The fish will pick it up and do the rest for you. All you have to do is set the hook. I also like to use a Zoom trick worm. I use that primarily in the bedding areas. And it's either hooked Texas rig or you can hook it wacky style. If you hook it wacky style, you throw it out and just let it lay. You throw it out with a Texas rig, lightweight or no weight, just gently move it along and that big gal will come get it. Fluking. The Super Fluke swimming fluke is a new bait. It's relatively new. I've just picked up a few packs here a couple of weeks ago. It's a fast retrieve bait, runs on top of the water. It's exciting. The fish will follow it. They'll smash it on the retrieve. And if she's following it and doesn't seem like she wants to take it, just stop it. She'll inhale it. When I'm using crankbaits, I primarily rely on custom lures by Sam Griffin, a local merchant and manufacturer of crankbaits. They're hand-tuned, hand-finished, and the hooks are sharp out of the package. They will hurt you. Be careful when you take it out of the box. This is a little Katie that I'm holding. It's a shallow retrieve. Runs through the hydrilla and grass. Rarely do you hang it up unless it's on a fish, and that happens quite frequently. If you're not using these baits and you don't have them in your local tackle shop, call the number at the bottom of the screen.
Well, Skipper, I noticed you back there using that magic formula on all the soft plastics. What is the name of the stuff, and did you put enough on mine?
Well, Don, to tell you the truth, I really didn't put any on yours. I gave you a bag that, straight out of the store by Zoom. But what we do is just take a bottle of Mr. Gloop and garlic. It's fish formula that I've been using for over 10 years. It's extremely good stuff. The consistency of it is heavier than Vaseline. You can put it on a 1-ounce sinker and it'll help you penetrate a 2-inch mat when you're flipping. The other big deal with it is that it helps you catch fish. Take about 4 flukes, run them around in the garlic, drop them in your bag, stir the bag up, put them in the sunshine for about 5 minutes. That's never a problem down here. And guess what? You're ready to go. They'll help you catch fish every time.
All right, Art.
Okay, all
I
right.
might have some
good job.
hydrilla. Oh, there we go. Right underneath the hydrilla. Oh, whoa, hello. Did you see that?
That's fine.
A water walker, baby. Oh, nice fish. Woo! Nice. Look at that fish. Now I know this thing, what, 8, 9, 10, 12 pounds? What do you think? A little short. All right, a little short.
Oh, closer to 4, 4.5. 4.5.
Using that pop method. Awesome. Unbelievable. Art has got us out here, and it's a big giant mat of hydrilla. And this hydrilla, it's right underneath the surface. It's real thick. And this fish has had us, it went ahead. I'm gonna kneel down that way. I'm in the, release position. But I was moving my bait above the hydrilla, and he took it and he went straight down below it. Straight down below the hydrilla. And I wasn't really sure it was a fish at first. And then bada boom, bada bang, it's a wonderful thing. I felt a little bit of a tug, and there he was. But a lot of times that's what happens. They'll get right down there and they think that they're safe. once they get beneath that hydrilla. So awesome job. Art's got us knee deep in the hoopla. And I'll tell you what, man, these big Okeechobee largemouth, you need to get down here. And I'm gonna let this one go real quick, and I gotta tell you all about the details of this. But before that, let me go ahead and get her back in the water and get her released. All right, girl. I appreciate that fight. All right, what do you think? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there she goes. Cool, cool. I'll tell you what, Okeechobee, a lot of places that you hear about in Florida to go and catch bass. A lot of the places, a lot of these so-called great bass lakes, there's not much to see there. We're talking about one of the largest lakes in the United States, all kinds of structure. This is where bass fishing began, baby. You need to come down here and see the wildlife, all the different kinds of birds, all the different sights and sounds here in Okeechobee. This is definitely the place you need to plan for your next bass vacation. There's a reason these largemouth get so big. There's an abundant bait supply, and primarily it's shiners. And these shiners can be 1 inch, 2 inch. I've seen these shiners 4 or 5 inches long. Here we've got a commercial fisherman actually going out and harvesting, throwing this cast net that's taller than you and me, probably it looks like a 12-footer, doesn't it? Catching these shiners where he's baited them at specific locations. But obviously you and I aren't going to do that. We're going to head over to Moorhaven's very own Mickey's Bait and Tackle. Mickey's got about every lure known to man. You can count on him having those awesome baits that you heard Captain Hart talking about a little bit earlier, right there and in stock, ready for you to come out here on Lake Okeechobee and catch some of these big fish. And of course, he's got great fresh bait readily available, whether you're talking about minnows or these lively shiners that you see here. Mickey's got it all. Visit Mickey next time you're fishing Lake Okeechobee.
You are watching One Big Fish.
When it comes for a place to stay, I know you see all these ads about Lake Okeechobee where you can stay. You need to check out Aruba RV Resort. It's right on the water. Very few places have that kind of bragging rights. Getting your boat head right out on the lake. Then they've got a bar and grill right there on site in season, as well as a swimming pool. Get out there after a nice hot day of fishing, get out there and relax in season. Backstroking on me. Get up with Captain Art, give you the phone number, or check it out at the website at the bottom of the screen. Aruba RV Resort is a different place you need to check out when you're down here at Lake Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee's got such a rich fishing history. When I grew up, I was always bugging my dad, Dad, can we go down and catch some of these giant largemouth bass down in Lake Okeechobee? But before I was born even, and that was 30 years ago, there is a Captain Sam Griffin, now retired. He's got over 50 years just guiding, let alone 65 or 70 years fishing Lake Okeechobee. So who better to tell you all about the seasonal changes and how you target these bass than Captain Sam. Take it away, Sam.
On Lake Okeechobee, we have 4 seasons like in most places. We usually start, say, in the springtime. The fish are still spawning, but they have been spawning already for quite a few months. And they'll spawn on through the end of May. And then we go into the summer mode, which is warm, hot weather. What we do then is we go out in the mornings and fish till about noontime. And then what we do is we go in, and that does 2 things. We get out of the heat, plus we get out of the thunder squalls that happens most afternoons here in Florida in June. Now on through June into the dog days of August, fishing gets a little bit tougher, but there's still ways you can catch them. You can go out to the deeper water, which is in the lake, the main lake. We're in the marsh right now, as you can see in the background. And then we'll fish drop-offs, and we'll fish the outside of what we call the shoal, which is the lake edge that the open water comes up against. And then we'll also fish man-made structures like canals and borrow pits that has deep drop-offs. This is during the summer and on into the fall. Now in the fall, they're beginning to change because the water is beginning to cool off and the spawn mode is taking over. That, and as that cycle generates within the fish, they'll start moving inland. Because in Lake Okeechobee, you have 2 fish. You have the Kentucky bass and you have the Florida strain, but we also have what we call the local resident fish that live in the areas year-round. Then we have the lake roamers that come in just to spawn and then they go back out. Well, they'll start that cycle in the fall, and then they'll go right on into the winter, and as the weather cools off, that triggers the bass in this lake to start spawning. Usually, say 65 degrees or a little bit cooler starts that cycle. Then at that point we go into the midwinter, and at that time we can have cold fronts come in, and when the water temperature drops to about 55 degrees, then you pretty much got to go underwater. That's when live bait fishing with live shiners does real well. And then we also start using plastic products, worms and jigs. We'll crawdads on them in this type of fishing, also crankbait fishing sometimes. Now if we have the elevation of water like we have this year, which is high, we're able to get into the marshes, and these fish will just go about anywhere, and you just have to keep looking for them because they'll move on you. Now if the water's low, there's certain places they're going to be. They're going to be on the drop-offs or out on the rock piles within the lake itself. So it depends on the water elevation. When you get here, ask for local knowledge, and they will give that to you from the marinas and the fish camps around the lake. Most any place that they sell fishing license will give you this information. Now this has brought us up through the winter time, and we're getting ready to go into spring. Now what happens then is they're still spawning, because they'll spawn in this lake until May. And now we've brought ourselves through the 4th season, and that caps off the best that you can possibly do in Lake Okeechobee, because it's just a great place to fish.
Fish on.
Good one, bad one?
Good one. Good fish.
Holy cow, look at the boil on that thing, man. Wow, unbelievable. Look at the size of that hog. Wow,
That's
man.
what we came after.
Now that is one of them Florida strains there. I'm just guessing. Right, Art?
That's a Florida strain bass.
Woo!
Okeechobee
Man. Holy cow.
Salad and all.
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, Art, I know you're good at estimating. You've been guiding forever down here. What would you say that fish is going to go even before we get the scale out?
Pretty close to 7.
Woo! That is one big fish. Unbelievable. Now, this particular fish, again, you're fishing above the hydrilla?
Really, we're fishing right in the hydrilla.
In the hydrilla, okay, all right.
Pull the bait across the hydrilla, let it fall into the little pockets and holes on either side, and there she is.
Man, unbelievable. Now, is she pre-spawn, post-spawn, what?
This one is already spawned.
Already spawned.
Yeah.
So if it's 7 pounds now, what do you think this was before the spawn?
She would have been out here like that with eggs and probably 8.5 to 10 pounds.
Woo! Unbelievable. So really, if this had been a February, a November, December, January type fish, this might be that 10-pound fish that one of your customers come down here and grab, huh?
She'd have been pushing 10 pounds.
Woo! You know, I've had the time of my life here on Lake Okeechobee, all because Captain Art, there's no substitute for experience. As big and as intimidating as this lake is, it's a trained professional that's out here all the time, staying on top of these fish. Like Captain Art was telling you earlier, he's out here all the time. He's staying on top of these fish. It's so difficult to come in here from out of town, let alone out of state, and try to stay on top of these fish, Art. Art, I can't tell you enough. I tell you what, it was more than I expected. A true pro, and I'm gonna tell you what, you need to call, again, the number at the bottom of the screen. Art will try to fit you into that book. It gets crowded quick. We know, Art. All the good ones do, right? And being the best, hey, that book gets filled quick. But Lake Okeechobee, Art, I'm gonna tell you what, your all-time favorite fishery for bass?
Lake Okeechobee, day in, day out.
You cannot run out of structure. You cannot run out of beauty and wildlife. So much different for some of these other bass destinations, which it kind of looks like you're fishing in a subdivision, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but we're lonely. Come on down.
So for One Big Fish, I'm Don Sweet, and we'll see you next time out on the water looking for that one big fish.
One big fish, one big fish, one big fish. All I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a largemouth, smallmouth, maybe even a brown trout. If you ever catch one, you know what I'm talking about. All you wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a walleye, saweye, maybe even a red eye. If you ever catch one, then you'll know why. All you wanna do is catch that one big fish. One big fish. One big fish. One big fish. All I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Might be a catfish, fatfish, or any other kind of fish. If I only had one last wish, all I wanna do is catch that one big fish. Yes, all I wanna do is catch that one big fish. All I wanna do is catch